All right, good morning, people. Yes, morning. It might be nighttime in Toronto, but it's morning here in Tokyo. It's Saturday, April 19th. And the temperature is about 23 degrees Celsius, and I see some people in the chat. Hopefully you can see and hear everything a-okay. Let me just do a quick test.
Good morning.
Nate D is here, Vivian Johnson, Medano, Jellybean, Alfred, Canadian Vasily, Jasmine, Jeanette, Marge, Gertej, Medano, Bashan Parker, Martin Kelly, Rosie Land, Ronnie Fung, Deborah, and Tiana. Everyone else, thank you so much for tuning in. So Phuket Walk is here. I've got plans today at around 2 p.m. I'm going to Team Labs. That's one of the big things to do here in Tokyo. I went to Team Labs. They have two. There's Planets and Borderless. I went to one of them last time I was in Tokyo, and I'm going to the other one today. But I kind of woke up early this morning, so the other members of my party are over in Shibuya just wandering around aimlessly, and I thought, why don't we wander around aimlessly together on a stream? So I hopped on the JR line and I came a stop over to a place that will be an absolute zoo in a few hours. But it shouldn't be too bad right now. This is Omotesando, a very high-end shopping district. But we're also where Harajuku is and Takeshita Street. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong, but last time I was in Tokyo, I live streamed from Shibuya up to this intersection. And then we went a few blocks in that direction, and then I made my way back to Shibuya. But we're not going to overlap anything from that stream. We're going to do something entirely different. Canadian Vasilla, let time travel be real in real life. 15 months of membership at God tier level. Thank you, Vasily, for your support at God tier. Yeah, it's Saturday here in Asia. Whenever I change the camera, sometimes we get that sort of destabilization. Let me just flip that back on. There we go. So this street here is often referred to as like the Champs-Élysées, another street I've done videos along of Tokyo. It's tree lined. It's got this nice boulevard. There's a lot of high-end shops and stuff to do. Shops to do, that's weirdly worded, but we're gonna rejoin with this street later on, but we're gonna head over to the famous Takeshita Street. Again, apologies for my mispronunciations. This is kind of the youth fashion epicenter of all of Japan, if I'm not mistaken. Flick Hunter's here. Zach McNally says Toronto time is 8:55. And I am just hand-holding this one. I left the gimbal at home. I took a look at my last stream and I'm like, yeah, that was stable enough. I don't really feel like walking around with in Tokyo with a freaking gimbal on me. Plus, I might end up going straight to Team Labs after this stream. So, again, all the more reason not to gimbal up. Yoyogi Park is just over there. And there's like the National Gymnasium and some facilities used in the Olympics. So I haven't ventured too far from where I'm staying, but at the same time, it's still a very different area from the last place I live streamed. And you can see one of the towers in Shinjuku straight ahead. That might be my favorite tower. Last time I was in Tokyo, you might recall, I stayed over near that tower. I was at Higashi Shinjuku, which was not too far from over there. We could see that wandering around. Gertej asking, how's the weather? It is 23 degrees Celsius. Vroom, vroom. And there is Harajuku Station. There's a number of different stations, or I think there's another one down that really nice street that you can get to Harajuku and Omotesando from. But this is the main one. I took the JR line. One stop was 140 Japanese yen. Jennifer Gallus, is IKEA coming up? Yep, right on the right. There's an urban format IKEA. There's one of these over by Shibuya as well. And there's one in Shinjuku. I would recommend going to a Don Quixote. And the megastore in Shibuya is quite huge. They might not be open yet. Yeah, it's 9:58. They probably open at 10 a.m. But it's kind of interesting. You've got this area that caters to youth right next to one of the most expensive shopping streets in the country. There's also Ginza, which I think is nowhere near as interesting as this area. Alicia Lewis. Enjoy your trip, Johnny. Cheers, take plenty of pictures too. Alicia Lewis, thank you so much for the $8. Cheers to you, Alicia. There will be pictures coming up on my Instagram. I changed one of my eSIM providers. My eSIM provider, my second one, because I'm combining just two signals here. I didn't bring three phones. But my second one, I found out had a streaming cap on it. The upload speed was amazing. It was like 30 megabits per second. But live streaming, it would only throttle it to 250 kilobytes per second. So that eSIM was useless. I tried it with a VPN, no bueno. I tried it with another VPN, no bueno. It just detected any upstream traffic that was live streaming and limited it. So we are running off of my brand new eSIM now. I only bought a 5 gigabyte one just to test it. And my good old MobiMatter 20 gigabyte eSIM. Hopefully things should hold up. There's an Allbirds. I used to wear a pair of Allbirds. I wore them till I beat them up completely. There's actually a Vivo Barefoot store in this area. I'm hoping to go there. We've got some go-kart action about to appear. Jaren, $6.99. We hope to visit Japan sometime soon. Jaren or Jaren, thank you so much for the $6.99. I hope you visit Japan as well. Did I mention this is my favorite place on earth? Johnny is a simple creature. He just goes back to the same places over and over again. So go-karting action. There's a JR train that'll be going to Shibuya and then Ibasu after that. I need to go to Ibasu after this to connect to a line that'll take me to Team Labs. Johnny, how's the food? It's excellent. I just had a great non-McDonald's breakfast. But there's the famous street. Takeshita Street. Hey, we can see ourselves on it. There I am. You were watching me. I'm waving. Hi, guys. If that's not the most exciting damn thing you've ever seen, I don't know what is. Gail asking how was the breakfast I bought? It was excellent. But today I went to a different place, an actual Japanese restaurant. I had like an omelet with sausages cut up in it and like a big bowl of soup with tofu and vegetables. I don't even know what the hell it was, but I have a picture of it. There is what I had. That was my breakfast. That was like $6 Canadian. Pretty good deal. Oh, we got to get moving here. We're going to pick up a copyright probably. But this street is going to be super busy and like shoulder to shoulder later. And you'll see some signs are flickering because some of the lights here use 50 hertz and some of them use 60 hertz. So we're doing 60 frames per second. I don't even think YouTube does 50. And that's why some lights and stuff will randomly be flickering. They're not flickering in real life, it's just pulsing at a different rate than the camera is recording. It's annoying, but you gotta pick a frequency and stick with it. There's the McDonald's. Miss Meow Meow says, hi everyone watching from Scotland. Susan says, hope you're having a great time in Japan. Thank you. So far, so good. I change hotels in a couple of days. I'm staying at like an apartment now. A pretty awesome apartment. I'm gonna be really sad to leave it. Got a washing machine. Capsule Lab. These places are fun with kids. You pay 100, so that's like $1. Should we do it? Should we get a capsule? 100, 100. Oh no, these are 400. Maybe later in the stream. Maybe later in the stream. I already got myself a capsule yesterday. I got a mini snow globe of Shibuya. There's a Daiso. Krista says people still wear masks. It's Asia. People have always worn masks. If you're sick or you have allergies, they also have particles in the air that are unhealthy at certain times. Masks have always been a thing here. If you're judging someone for wearing a mask, I will say you're an idiot. crepes, double chocolate, banana and cream, double chocolate, strawberry and cream. So roughly 100 yen is 1 Canadian dollar, pretty much. Look at these shoes. These cannot be good for you. Have I spotted any dinguses in Japan? No, I've seen some inconsiderate foreigners, but the local people are remarkably polite and considerate. I've had zero issues here. It kind of reminds me of Canada. If somebody bumps into you, or if you bump into them, it doesn't matter. Both people just look at each other and say they're sorry and kind of profusely apologize. But yeah, it's a little early in the morning, so this place isn't fully rocking and rolling yet, but it's probably still the best time to be here because it is going to be packed, shoulder to shoulder busy, especially on a Saturday afternoon. Pet paradise. And there's a lot of little offshoots off of the street. Get your hand tattooed. Hey, another capsule toy store. Those things are stupidly popular. Good morning, Simons Gordon. Should we get some boy band capsules? What a weird place that is. Okay, so it's still cherry blossom season? No, not really. Most of the trees are pretty much bare at this point. I was at Sensuji Temple the other day, and the ones there were looking kind of sad. Devin says that was a sign for palm reading. Gertesh says, how long am I staying in Japan? Stay tuned. I've got a flight out of here at some point. A flight I'm kind of excited for. I paid a little extra for the next flight, but it gets me priority boarding and priority immigration at the next country I get to, so I don't have to line up. Just going to be getting in the fancy lines and waltzing right through everything. There's someone who can barely walk. Strawberry Fetish, a strawberry specialty shop. And we have Toddy Candy Factory above it. Next destination is unknown. I suddenly forget. Frozen popcorn, good grief. Ooh, this is on my to-do list. Before I leave Japan, this is one of my favorite meals. Simons Gordon, that's neat. I'm just going to break up this song in case it gets picked up.
Yeah, I know. The guy is not going over. And this woman was like, I don't think so.
We can't escape this damn song. It's like they're playing it the whole way. A little bit of graffiti. Yeah, there'll be some of that. Not a whole lot. Strawberry Tiger. They're definitely all about the strawberry here. Oh God, yesterday I went to the Robot Cafe and I had strawberry pancakes. I'm a little bit strawberried out. Bertes says it's Seoul or Thailand. Yeah, I just keep going back to the same 3 places over and over again. I will say this much. One of the places coming up I have not yet gone to on this channel. Capsule Toy Shop. One sec, my phone's not showing us how many viewers we have. 411. Thank you so much, guys. 411 of you tuned in. Amazing. If you want to participate in the chat, you do have to be subscribed to the channel, but people don't bite. Everyone's quite friendly. Takojuku. I'm just not feeling it for a snack. I did something gross last night. I was out in Shinjuku and I went into a Krispy Kreme and bought a big box of donuts. And I ate a few last night and I ate one this morning. So I feel a little gross over that, but it is what it is. Oh, you want to see something neat? With the if you have the Google Translate app, why is my phone not working? No, just give me the camera. Sorry guys, I'm having troubles here with my camera. But if you hover your phone over anything in Japanese, it'll translate it to English for you instantly. See that? It makes things like menus and just life in general here so much easier. I highly recommend using that feature of Google Translate. Do I speak Japanese? No. I've accidentally found myself saying like 감사합니다 and 괜찮아요 just from living in Korea. Something in my brain told me that would be an appropriate response to things, and obviously it isn't. I got a laugh and a smile out of it, and then I apologized profusely for being an idiot. The Go-Go Cafe. What is this? Micro Pig House. Oh, it's like a pig cafe. Look at that. You know, I actually went to a cat cafe in Akihabara. It wasn't as bad as I thought. No, it wasn't my idea to go there, but I went. That's crazy. It's very, very small. The cat cafe I went to was quite big. Had lots of areas for the cats to like roam around and climb on. Mini Pig Cafe. Another room full of little pigs walking around. Clint Fisher says, cute little pigs. Yeah, I question the welfare of the animals. And over here, there's a cat cafe. The way it works is you pay by the hour. At least at the cat cafe I went to, it was like, it worked out to like $15 and you get a free drink from like a coffee vending machine. Samoyed Cafe. Mafu. Jellybean says, load your Suica card. Cam says hi. Thank you, Jellybean, for the $20. I'm not using a Suica. I'm just paying as I go. It's really no big deal. I didn't bother dealing with the Suica. They were sold out at Haneda Airport. I didn't feel like going out of my way to get it. That's just their transit card. They don't have tap to pay, unfortunately. But thank you, Jellybean, for the $20. That'll probably fuel all of my transit for the day. Thank you very much. Steve K says, what do you do in a cat cafe? You just sit there and you buy a little bit of feed and cats climb all over you. Check the draw. Oh, she's feeding the dog. I think you're supposed to pay to pose with that dog. Maybe she wouldn't appreciate someone standing there just recording. Someone said, why are there so many Caucasian people here? This is one of the main tourist things to do here in Tokyo. Lisa says getting weirder. I came to Harajuku, I think in 2009, and the person who brought me here knew the best time to come, because when we came here, the so-called Harajuku girls were out in full force. Locals who kind of like dress up in costume, almost like cosplay. I think a lot of them hang out at like Yoyogi Park. Wiggle Wiggle Zip flagship store. More cutesy stuff. Not my thing, but when in Rome. Bubble tea. Lisa says, how do you focus on anything? Clint says, I'm like a vampire, haven't aged a bit, must be all the walking. I too take a long walk, it's the best therapy. I think it's the best thing you can do for your health. I had 2 terrible days. The day before I came here and the day I flew here, my step counts were like 5,000 each. But the last 2 days, I've been at like 25, 26,000 steps. And today we're going to hit that easily. Last time I came to Tokyo, and then I went to Korea, I lost like 10 pounds in 2 weeks. I was taking over 30,000 steps a day, and it was like 35, 40 degree temperature. Man, that was a workout. And I was still eating what I want and drinking what I wanted. All right, so that is it for the famous Takeshita Street in Harajuku. I just thought it would be a fun idea to come here and see it. Again, it's going to be super duper crowded later. Now we're just kind of stepping out into the regular shopping district. So now for a more normal side of Tokyo. But there it is from this end. How long is the flight to Tokyo from Canada? It was like 13 and a half hours. Oh, so we are on Harajuku Street. You can keep exploring this area, but it's not quite the same as Takeshita Street. Jillian says today is Good Friday. Neat. Happy Good Friday to everyone. And tomorrow morning, my Toronto to Tokyo video will post. I think I'm gonna alternate videos. I'll have a Toronto video, then a trip video, then a Toronto video, then a trip video, pretty much every other day. But I've only made 2 videos from the trip so far. I did a walk yesterday. I did the Toronto to Tokyo video. That's it. And then a couple of live streams. Oh, some Onekatsu tigers. Phuket walks, gotta stop doing walks at food markets. You're just gaining weight. There's the Samsung store. UGG. Fender Stratocaster. It's a Fender store. I think the Vivo Barefoot store is somewhere around here. Omotesando left, Ibisu and Shibuya. Go straight. I'm going to take a look at my maps in a moment. We're going to make a decision if I'm going to go left here or straight. Clint's in the market for a Fender Strat. Neat. Tokyo Plaza. Look at that. How cool is that? Let's zoom in. Let's zoom out. That's too much. I'm not using a gimbal. I can't keep the camera that steady. Cam says, let's find another batting cage. You know, I walked by that batting cage the other day in Asakusa. So we're back to that street that very much resembles the Champs-Élysées. according to random sources online. See, 38 minutes. Let me see something. I'm just looking something up here. One sec. Alright, let's go this way a little bit. Apparently, we're like a 12-minute walk to Shibuya, which is not great. Let's spend a little more time here. Because it says weird knocking. Sorry, I don't seem to have the best connection in the world right now. Hopefully it's okay. We're not doing the usual 4K stream. We're in 1080p 60. But there's a lot of these little alleyways you can head down. He says, please tell me someone else heard it. There's an anchor store. Someone ripping through on a sport bike. Yeah, Lisa, I think you're officially a crazy person. Someone doing some modeling. The guy said kawaii, that means cute. I should have looked at him and said thank you. Mark M says Tokyo is a gaijin heavy city. It definitely has a lot of us. There's like a Chanel across the street, Maison Margiela. This area is quite different from where we just were. One of the really trendy shopping malls is just here on the left, Omotesando Hills. Oh, there's an Onitsuko or Suku tiger over there. Get your Japanese Asics. All right, so we are here. We started here. We went down here, and then we went to here, and then up to here. Who needs my silly animated maps when I can just do that? Hey, Super Chat, Salazar, hope you are enjoying Japan. Salazar 26, thank you so much. I indeed am. Thank you so much, Salazar. We're dealing with a bit of a low signal quality right now, but it is slowly starting to climb up. There's a Fendi. Yukizak. Have I ever thought of doing a 7-Eleven tour video? That would take all of 5 minutes. The convenience stores in Asia, though, are something else. You can often get an entire meal at a 7-Eleven or a Lawson or Family Mart. There's a place called Goku Burger across the street. The sport bikes aren't lacking speed. It's remarkable how little honking you hear. It's just a testament to the fact that the drivers here don't drive recklessly and selfishly. There's such a huge amount of pedestrian traffic and you rarely hear of any incidents. There's an air maze. Come on, let me pick something. Peter Bradfield, Tokyo is hosting now Thursday to tonight the World Team Figure Skating Championships. Did you get to go? I'm watching it on YouTube. Peter Bradfield, thank you so much for the $4.99. No, I didn't even know that was a thing or that it was going on, but neat stuff, and thank you so much for the support. Tokyo's the kind of city that always has a million things going on. Also, you'll notice you walk on the left here, which is the opposite of what we do. Well, we should be walking on the right, but we have a lot of mindless zombies that don't think about other people and walk wherever they want. Here, it's different. You walk on the left. I kind of like it. Jaywalking barrier. Jaywalking is not a thing here. You just don't do it. At least not major streets. I've seen people do it on like side streets. But streets like this, it's a no-go. It's quite different from New York City, which is like the jaywalking capital. 404 not found, $10. Thank you for the great live stream. Where's that button? 404 not found. Thank you so much for watching. Much appreciated. Cheers to you. Yahia, member for 23 months in the making. Hope you're doing well. Yahia, the Transit Explorer. Thank you so much, Yahia. Arigato. Thank you for the 23 months. Lint chocolate. And Jimmy Choo. So what I think I can do is make a right at the next main street. And we can mosey down towards Shibuya. Looks like there's a little cafe just that way. And apologies if the stream isn't as stable as you're used to from me. I mentioned earlier I decided to not bring the gimbal out with me. I brought it. I'm probably not going to use it this trip. Oh, look at this, a store full of bad decisions. The official Apple store. Looks like there's some kind of workshop going on. Hey kids, here's where you should spend your money. Or your parents' money. George, 100 Mexican dollars. I guess I'm going to have sushi for dinner. Thank you so much. And yes, do have some sushi. You know, I went to a conveyor belt sushi last night and it was fantastic. That was in Shinjuku. Tiffany on the left. That guy's going to be getting some high quality stable footage. Where the better half go for a coffee. Look what this guy's wearing. He's wearing like triangle mirrors. All right. So if my knowledge of Tokyo tells me anything, we can make a right here and mosey on down to the heart of Shibuya. Maybe we'll finish up. Hey, they got one of those 3D screens. I cut myself off. I don't know if the camera is doing it justice, but these things are neat. We're gonna stay on this side of the street and hopefully we can catch it in action. What street is this? Omotesando? Come on, do the 3D thing. Luann says you haven't gotten to bed and I'm already awake. I've been awake since like 4. I'm disappointed Samsung didn't roll out a better ad. That's Omotesando station. We take the GZ or C line. The G is the Ginza line. I don't want to go anywhere till we see another 3D display on this sign. Come on, do it. D&B Cooper says, what's surprising about Japan is its cleanliness and high level of public safety. There we go. Oh, we don't get the effect from over here. Boo. Yeah, it's super clean and it's ridiculously safe. Drivers won't even dare push their luck at a red light or creep over a line if there's a pedestrian in the way. That thought doesn't even run through their head. People just ride bikes like this on major streets and feel perfectly safe. It's one of the reasons why you don't see a lot of bicycle infrastructure here, because they don't need it. You're not really at risk riding your bike on these streets, because the people actually know how to drive. Ball and chain. I picture like Al and Peggy Bundy as like the logo for that place. So we're just gonna head down this street till we get to Shibuya. Kind of baking in the sun. Let's see, how long does Google Maps say it'll take to get there? It says we're about 14 minutes. This is where Donald Trump would be at if he was here. KFC is mostly a sandwich affair in Asia. Have I ever tried a Thai natural herb inhaler? If you're talking about those little sticks that look like lipstick that people put in their nose all the time. Yeah, I bought some of those last time I was in Thailand. Just because I constantly saw people doing it and I wanted to know what that was like. Echo. I'm sure Alex from Phuket Walk could tell you more about what those are and why people do it. Porsche. Oh, we've been streaming for almost an hour. How slow and carefully these drivers went. Flick Hunter towards Saturday night drinks, perhaps in Golden Guy. I'll have you know, Mr. Hunter, I'm going to the Golden Guy tomorrow night. That may or may not be near where my next hotel is, but thank you so much, Flick Hunter. The Golden Guy is this awesome area. I streamed it during the day last time I was here. And I went through there in a Shinjuku night walk. It's full of really small bars that seat anywhere from like 5 to 10 people. It's a good place to go if you're solo or with just 1 or 2 other people at most. It's quite a social experience. Hey, a double-decker bus. Found Muji? Is that related to the Muji store? There is a much more peaceful route from Harajuku to Shibuya. But I live streamed that the last time I connected these dots, so we're doing something a little different today. That was probably imported from England. Oval Plaza. We're getting pretty close to Shibuya. take a little detour here. Something's going on. Some kind of market. Organic mercado? Snacks? Pepper free tasting? Ooh, chocolate covered strawberries. John McGarry, indeed, we are in Tokyo.
Ariel, Sivan. Sivan is not over.
This stream started up in the famous part of Harajuku. Lisa says it's so civilized. Oh man, there's strawberries here. That's about 15 Canadian dollars for those. Tony says it's 9:49 p.m. in Toronto. See, I told you I'd do a late stream at some point. Sake. Guilt-free drink. Reset the health damage accumulated every day. 6 types to match the changing health damage zones. Power change. I'm not sure of the science behind these claims, but hey man, the placebo effect is real. Just live streaming. Arigato. Thank you. The man saw me standing there and like came running over thinking he might have a sale. Or he either said that or he said, do you want to try it? But I don't want to waste his time or his product. Coffee that makes you want treats. How does a coffee make you want a treat more than other coffees? Ayama Dori. Dori is street. Funky building. You'll notice almost everyone walking on the right is a foreigner. Also, because traffic is not bad here, Uber and taxi is actually not a terrible way to get around. I haven't done it yet on this trip. But I've had those moments where I pull my app out and I look up like, how much will it cost? How long will it take? I'm like, oh, that's pretty reasonable. A long distance taxi ride is a very different story. You want to go to the airport, Narita? That's $150, but just getting around these areas. Have I seen all the Shohei Ohtani ads? I don't think I've seen any. Kashiwa, Tokyo. All right, we are getting very near Shibuya. I'm not sure when or if I'll live stream again from Tokyo, but I'll try to do one more, possibly two. All right, now I've never been to this particular part before, so I'm just gonna follow where most of the people seem to be going. The sign there says Shibuya 1 kilometer. I'm pretty sure that's the back of one of the buildings that overlooks the crossing. Yeah, I was just doing as the locals were doing. Oh, this is nice. It's tree lined. Jeanette Morales, $7. John McGarry gifted 5 memberships. Thank you, Jeanette, for the reminder and the $7. Thank you so much. And Jellybean, $2. John McGarry purchased 5 memberships. Thanks, John. Thank you, Jellybean. And John McGarry, let me scroll up. How did I miss that? Oh, there it is. John, thank you so much. Sorry, it's a little bit hard to see in this sunlight. My phones have both kind of auto-dimmed their screens, but thank you so much, John McGarry, for the 5 channel memberships, and welcome aboard to our 5 new channel members. Thank you so much. In total, John has now gifted 342,000 memberships. I'm sure I'm off by a couple, but thank you, John. Ooh, the shade. Let me get the screen brightness back up. Rudy F says, super clean city. Alex says it looks very clean in Japan, and John said most of these big Asian cities but I think Tokyo kind of takes the cake. I was in Osaka last time. That was my 3rd time in Osaka, I think, and that's a bit grittier than Tokyo. This place is excellent. Kamakura? I've been to a few of these locations. But even the Southeast Asian cities tend to be remarkably clean. They may not have the best infrastructure, but the cleanliness is often there. How long am I staying in Japan? Stay tuned to the channel to find out. There's one more country with 2 very distinct destinations left on this trip. One of them may involve an island and a beach. One of which I have yet to visit camera in hand and stream and record from. Lisa says, grittier, you say? Yeah, Osaka, definitely. Boxing Club, Shibuya. Math Doctor says, I'll have a blast in Bali. You think I'm doing Jakarta and Bali? Minizine 222, cool t-shirt, JS. The one I'm wearing now, this is just a French Connection shirt. I'm pretty sure I got from Winners because I don't really shop anywhere else these days, but thank you, Minizine. It's a shirt that's going to be finding itself in the washing machine in a couple of hours. Given that my Team Labs ticket is for 2 p.m., I'll probably have time to go to the apartment and take a quick shower and change. But we're gonna go see the famous Shibuya Scramble Crossing, the busiest crossing in the world. My last live stream around this area was so early in the morning, there was barely anyone there. That building there is Shibuya Sky. Usually their reservations are sold out for the day. Or go-kart action. Jennifer Gala thinks I'm doing Busan. Where would I go with an island? Busan and Jeju-do? Korea and Japan is like the most logical pairing of Asian countries to do. Oh, look at that. I didn't notice on that building over there. It's kind of flickering because that must be a 50 hertz refresh rate screen. There's a BIC camera. Those are giant electronic stores. BIC and Yodobashi are the big ones here. They're everywhere. Taito Game Station. Here comes some more go-kartists. You do need an international license or a Japanese license. But most countries, your license, you can get an international permit from no problem. At least most Western countries. Oh, I found myself walking on the right. Let's get way out of everyone's hair. And you can see what a mess Shibuya Station is right now. Navigating it, particularly around the west side, is fairly challenging. The wayfinding isn't very good right now. It's all like scaffolding and ripped up. Marge, $5 for some vending machine action. Thank you, Marge, for the $5. There will be. I haven't done it on stream. If not this stream, I will on the next stream. You have my word. Thank you, Marge, for the $5. All right. Here we go. Coming up, the world's busiest pedestrian crossing. And it's kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy because it's so busy. A lot of people come here to see it. There's really nothing like it. And here we go. Look at that. Madness. The Hachiko statue is just over there. We saw that in the last stream. All right, I'm gonna fire off a text message to see where I need to be. We'll chill here for a moment. Oh man, that sun is beating down good. All right, I think about 15 seconds. Mouth Doctor is craving a black sesame ice cream at Shake Shack. We're gonna go diagonally across. D.B. Cooper lives in Ikeburo. I'm sure I mispronounced that. Here we go! Welcome to Tokyo, where crossing the street is a major attraction. But it's honestly like 3-4 times busier than this at nighttime. At least last night it was. It says, look at all those people at Starbucks. Yeah, all the people up there. Recording the action. I'm supposed to go to this Shibuya 109. So that might be where we wrap things up. I'm also in need of a cold beverage. Oh, there's a Yoshinoya across the street. Solid place to grab a meal. We get another mini scramble crossing. There's another big camera. Is it true you are buying a house in Japan? Tana wants to keep watching the street. Well, here's a mini version of the Shibuya Scramble Crossing just north of it. This one's not quite as intense, but it's... Yeah, I'm moving here to be near PewDiePie. I've already done my move into Asia April Fool's video. So the famous guy selling skin cream. I have no idea what's going on. Oh, it's some kind of challenge. It's quite lively. I'm just gonna sit down for 1 sec. I need to figure something out. But before I do that, Jelly Bean, $5. Devin wants you to buy a Pocari Sweat. I have Pocari Sweat. I have a whole bunch of that in my hotel or apartment fridge. But thank you, Jelly Bean, for the super chat. And thank you, Devin, for the inspiration. That might be on the list, but 1 sec, guys. Hello, where are you? One sec, guys. Which floor? Okay, I'll be there in a minute. Okay, bye. Well, guys, that is just about that for this one. There's a couple of people in this mall waiting for me. I'm gonna head in there. Thank you, Gertej. I want to thank everyone who tuned in. I want to thank our mods. I want to thank everyone who sent support. Marge, I will get a vending machine item possibly on the next stream. Thank you. Can we come? Sure, you can come. I'm off to Team Labs in a few hours, so I'm looking forward to that. I went to one Team Labs last time here. I'm gonna do the other one this time. You probably won't hear from me for a day or two. I think I'm just gonna be a tourist for the rest of the day and possibly tomorrow. I don't know if I'm gonna make any more content, but there's only one way to find out. Do be subscribed. That's weirdly worded. Click the bell, you'll be notified when I go live next, which might be in a few days from Tokyo, or it might be in a few more days after that from another awesome city in this amazing continent. But thank you so much, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Leave a comment down below. Let me know where you would like to see in Tokyo or wherever else in the world next. And thanks again, John McGarry, for the channel memberships. All right, adios from the best city on earth. Yoink.